So I also wanted to give a little update from me. Excuse me. Where to start? Where to start? Well, I guess from the obvious part, I guess. I quit my job. That was to be expected. Not that you know that, but for me, of course, I had that planned in my mind. It was just about the time. And then it's funny because I was planning, but at the end it was like I didn't plan it at all. So that was yeah. Because yeah, I wanted to plan to save and you know to have a plan. Let's say this was my second job, and there is not gonna be more for sure. No, I mean I'm out. I'm completely out of the system. My first job, it was 1 year. I was burnout, and I quit. And that time, it's funny because that time it was so it was even the energy right now is going through me. It went so beautifully smooth when I quit that job, that first job. I was literally burned out. I was physically bad. I was not eating well and mentally also exhausted, And it was the first time in my life that I experienced anxiety. I never had it. I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, I was just like, this is not for me. And well, I didn't think it that way until later, but it was too much. And then after a meeting or something I had to do, and I just went to my room, or on my break, I went to my room and I just started crying, like tearing up. And like I just started tearing up like out of nowhere. And there was something else, like some drama that happened. I think it's just the environment was not nice. Not to blame them because they just don't even know, unfortunately, but that is changing. That's why we are here. New Earth people, that's why we are here. But understanding that, right? Understanding that not everybody is aware as well. So yeah, so I decided to leave. It wasn't a decision made on one day, of course. It never is, right? If you have left your job or are thinking about it, it's not a one-day decision. You already started having it. It was hectic, right? I'm quite a hardworking person, and not in that sense that you might think or that the word implies it. I'm not just gonna be blindly hardworking for something. I have a strong work ethic, and before I started on my spiritual journey, my personal journey, that work ethic, that strong work ethic was going through towards work, right? My first job. And so I was working. But the thing is, if you're going through something similar, and I know lots of people are and have gone through something similar, but especially are going through something similar this past couple of years, and especially with burnout or anxiety at the beginning stage of your spiritual journey, that means literally the beginning. You had to be redirected. And usually let's say the first time you awaken, right, to your spiritual journey, it's a big one. It's a big one because you are still trapped or ingrained, not trapped. You are not awake, basically, and you need to be shaken out of that reality, out of the world, at least to get you an understanding of where you currently at, or more like, yeah, to stop you. So you can stop and reflect. Where are you going? Where are you at? Are you liking where you are at? What you're doing? What you're feeling? Like, Stop and reflect. Take a breather. How are you? Check in, right? So that first checkup it's big. It's big because it has to be to check you, to direct you in a completely different path. And that could be, again, in my case, I quit and I had saved up for 3 months. Then I said, I'm not gonna work. And again, it went all so smooth. And I was like, I'm not gonna work. I'm gonna focus on me. I need to like get myself well, right? Was just like, no, I'm gonna treat myself good. So I started moving my body. I started eating well. My skin got better. I was sleeping better, everything. And I actually was not looking for a job, but I got headhunted the last 2 weeks of my 3 months break. And the thing is, that's why it went smoothly well, because I knew it is, guys, it is about the feeling for these synchronicities to happen, for the magic of the world to happen to you with these very smooth, like synchronized events, and that you barely have to do anything if you follow your heart, is to believe, know in your core that it's already yours. That's part of manifesting, right? So I knew, and this was even before I started looking into manifestations or anything. I just knew it was inherent in me, as it is inherent in you, right? So I just knew. I was like, I'm not gonna look for a job, whatever. I knew I would get it because I knew myself. You know, I know my strengths and I know what I'm capable of. And also at that moment, I just didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm just thinking about me. I'm not gonna be thinking about starting a new one, right? Because I just went through burnout. I need to recover. So yeah, it went beautiful those 3 months. And the last 2 weeks, you know, I even planned my winter break with family. And the last 2 weeks, somebody contacted me, and yeah, I was headhunted. I had 2 interviews, 2 people that contacted me, and I was like, okay, yes, let's have the interview. And I was very nonchalant in those interviews. I was confident. I was also not, the way I approached those calls were no longer like, oh, I want you to need, like I'm begging you, you know, because I think when you're an early entry employee or whatever, you're like I need a job. I need a job. You don't need anything. No, not a job. Definitely not like a 9-to-5 job. Unless you love it, right? Unless it is your passion, then yeah. But you shouldn't need anything. You want things. And it is the energy of need that is created in this sector, in this system. Like, oh, we need you. Like, no, it is a two-way kind of thing, you know, but many forget that. But anyways, these two interviews I went on, the conversation went good, very normal. One of them said yes and the other one said no. So there you go. I got a call and I didn't have to do anything. I got a job and I didn't have to do anything at all. Just show up for 30 minutes. That was it. So I received that and I was on holidays, and not even then I got like, you know, I think I got the reply on holidays. This is gonna sound interesting. I went on I wouldn't say, was I burnout? Burnout is not black and white, right? It has different extents and it is different for everybody. But in one job, the first one, I was overworking my ass, really giving it all, and not being appreciated, undervalued. And that was a trigger for me. People are not appreciated at work whatsoever. And that's why people are quitting. And that's why the whole system is shaking up and needs a restructure, you know. And that's for another video, because that's a topic that it's in my mind lately. Yeah, I will leave it for another video. But anyways, this second job, it was maybe right now makes no. Anyway, so the first one I was overworking, and the second one I was barely doing anything. I was doing something, but the first, I don't know, 6 months, I was barely doing anything because he was working from home and I was learning a lot. But anyways, if you're an ambitious person, if you're truly an ambitious person with your life, where you want to be, what you want to do, create, you have that energy in you, that drive, that passion in you, to do something, to get better, and to surpass yourself and recreate yourself. You are not meant for the 9 to 5. Actually, most of these character traits, right, are in entrepreneurs. So you can find yourself thinking like, how can I do something for myself? Maybe you have already thought about it. Get out there, right? How can you follow your own path? You will have signs of this. And the burnout is one. The dissatisfaction is another one. The motivation, if you're anxious at work, is definitely a sign that you should not be there. You are not meant to be there. You are meant to be somewhere else, doing something else. So those are the signs you have to catch within you. How are you feeling when you work? Is it good? Is it good energy? Are you feeling comfortable? How do you feel when you are at work? What is your body telling you? Because usually we can trust more the body reaction than our mind, right? Because depending on where you are in your own personal journey, the mind can be chaotic. The mind can take you to the path that you don't actually want to go. The mind just wants to keep you safe. So the body, on the other hand, will never lie to you. If your body is feeling bad, if your body is feeling ache, if you're having allergies, if you're having, I'm hearing food poisoning, if you're having stomach issues, headaches, burnout, anxiety, eating disorders, depression, all these things, all these energies, all these conditions, if your body is reflecting that to you, exhaustion, like not feeling energy, that is a sign. That is a sign that where you are at is not aligned with you, where you are at physically, mentally, that work is not aligned with you. And your body is trying to tell you that, make you see, make you aware, because the mind is not, you cannot get a hold on the mind. So the body is like, okay, listen to me, because it's all one, trying to help you advance. So listen to those signals. Check in with yourself. Check in with yourself right now. Are you feeling good? If the answer is no, that is the question that needs to be dig in. Why? And what can I do to get to feel good? What actions can I take? Don't trust fear, because fear is an illusion. Forget about it and think, what actions can I take to feel good? You can start by thinking that within that day, within that moment, you are having that emotion, that anxiety, that depression, like that thought, that moment you catch yourself feeling bad, quote unquote, bad, lower, in lower energy. Catch yourself and ask yourself, what can I do right now? Actually, a hack here, not what. It is important to say how. How can I get myself to feel good right now? By asking how, you are sending a signal to your brain to search for an answer. And more eloquent answer, an answer with depth. Because if you ask what can I do, it is not about a feeling, it is about a subject. If you ask why, these are also close-ended questions, right? And the why doesn't focus on the answer, but on the root of it. And to get out of that feeling of lower energy, at that moment, you don't want to look at the root. You want to look at the other side. How can I feel better, right? Not why I'm feeling a certain way. So don't use what can I do, because it's focusing on the action. Why is focusing on the root. But how focuses on the feeling. And that is the key. That is the key. Because then your brain is searching, okay, what emotion can be triggered? How can I get myself to feel good right now? So the more you do this, the more it will become your own hack. And it's like you consciously working with your mind. And your mind can help you. Your mind is also not just all fears. That's the beginning process that we need to dig into to get all that out, right? But it's like a sprinkling. It's a process, but by us approaching our mind and our brain differently or understanding it, that's why a lot of things right now, right? Neuroplasticity and all about brain hacks, because it is a hack. If you understand how to hack your brain, how to work with it, it can truly help you. And it can help you manifest, you need to understand your brain to be able to manifest, because you need to work with it. If you don't have a good relationship with your mind, it will become harder. So going back to the question, say, how can I get myself to feel better? And then it will become easier. And then you suddenly find yourself out of that feeling, distracting yourself onto something. So that's a little hack for you. Especially if you feel a bit anxious or something, or like you had like a mind fog or overthinking as well, then that can definitely help you get out of that. So I forgot where we were going with this. About work. So if you're feeling mad, then ask yourself, what can I do? How can I get myself, how can I get myself into a better situation where I feel happy, where I feel joyful, where I feel at peace? If your job is not doing it for you, then what are the other possibilities, right? Is there something you want to do? I bet there is. There always is. It's about being fierce with it. Just grab it and be like, yes, man. If there is a time that you can do anything, it's right now. Like if there is a time that you would want to launch a business, create anything, like become whoever you want. And there's so many opportunities today in today's world. You can become whoever you want. You can create whatever you want. It is there. The resources are there. But it all starts with the mind. Because if your mind is telling you, no, there's nothing, I can't, and that's impossible, and oh, but what if you are immediately no. Why? Do you know why? You're letting yourself be controlled by your mind instead of you controlling your mind, you working with it to create the reality you want. Are you going to let your mind control your life? Because your mind only wants to keep you safe. The subconscious mind only wants to keep you safe. That is literally our animal within. You know, some people call it the reptilian brain. And it's called like that because it's the animal behavior part of the brain, like survival mode, right? It is ingrained in us because of all the years of evolution. But we are in a different world right now. So we need to get our conscious mind to take over control of the subconscious mind. Because right now, the subconscious mind is running the show for a lot of the world. And it is expanding that awareness, that consciousness that is also needed to create, to manifest. And you can also affirm yourself. That's another way that I've been working with, and it is helping. It wonders. It immediately works. You say, my conscious mind has control over my subconscious mind. My conscious mind has control over my subconscious mind. And just like that, the subconscious mind goes in the back seat and your conscious go in front, leading with awareness, with full awareness of who you are and who you want to become. Your conscious mind knows where you want to go. So it guides you, it leads you, it catapults you to take that path, those steps. And that's when it feels like everything is on a flow. That's when it feels all these synchronized events happening for you, because you are leading with a conscious mind, conscious awareness of your being. By being conscious, you are likely to be receptive, already be receptive. But it is important to allow that, to be open to receive that energy from the conscious mind, to be open to be guided, to receive those signs, that guidance, while the conscious mind is about taking you, guiding you to take the action. Before that, you need to be receptive to get that guidance from your higher self, from spirit, in what you need to take, and what steps you need to take. And it is the conscious mind that will take those steps. And it is the conscious mind that will say no when you need to say no, yes when you should say yes, and continue to say yes. And it is the conscious mind that works with spirit, with your higher self, to get you where you want to be. So it is working with that, being receptive, allowing spirit to talk to you through you, allowing that energy to come through you so you are guided, and then rewiring your mind so that the conscious mind is the one leading to take you where you need to be, to take those steps you're guided to take. Okay? So that is what I have for you today. And yes, I hope to see you on the next one. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and to start building a beautiful community here of beautiful manifestors. Let's create abundance, man. Let's create abundance together. If you're called to leave a comment, that would be amazing. That would be cool to read about you and where you are at the moment. Where are you from? And I see you in the next one. Okay? Hope you have a beautiful day today and a beautiful journey. See you. Bye-bye. Yeah.